Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Global Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
In order for Freedom Front Plus, another white Afrikaner party, to join the government of national unity, the ANC needs to officially recognize Orania's independence. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The ANC, once the vanguard of South Africa's liberation struggle, has seemingly done the unthinkable by aligning with the Freedom Front Plus, a party traditionally rooted in Afrikaner nationalism. This unexpected partnership, driven by the ANC's desperation to bolster its dwindling support, reveals a troubling duplicity that should give every South African a pause. Historically, the ANC has vehemently opposed Orania, an Afrikaner-only enclave in the Northern Cape, for its exclusionary policies. Founded in 1991 during the fragile transition to democracy, Orania stood as a stark reminder of apartheid's divisive legacy. The ANC's mission was clear: dismantle apartheid's remnants and promote a unified, inclusive society. Endorsing a racially exclusive town would have flown in the face of everything that the party stood for. Yet, shortly after the 2024 elections, the ANC's need to hold on to power has led it to forge an alliance with a party that staunchly defends Orania's right to exist. The ANC's willingness to join hands with a party that champions the very principles it once opposed exposes a disconcerting readiness to sacrifice core values for numerical advantage. Recent developments concerning the recognition of Orania brings to light a significant and troubling development in South African politics. Orania seeks constitutional recognition, leveraging Section 235 of the South African Constitution. This section provides for the right to self-determination, allowing communities to preserve their culture and language. While such provisions are vital in protecting cultural diversity, their potential misuse can lead to the silent erosion of democracy values in South Africa. So, in regards to the Constitution, Orania's requirements to be an all-Afrikaner town are based on the promotion of their cultural and religious practices. Hence, that is why the Constitution protects Orania. Yes, they might be racist, it might be a racist town. Yes, the existence of Orania is a reminder of how democracy has failed us and how the Rainbow Nation tagline was a lie, but the Constitution allows them the right to freedom of association under cultural groupings and under religious groupings. Their actions might say otherwise, but on paper, their principles are aligned with the Constitution. Do you see why when Zuma wanted to confront the Constitution, all the white-led parties were fatigued? Because they know the Constitution has loopholes that they can use to protect and promote their white monopoly capital agendas. In an interview with Newsroom Africa, Deputy Chairperson of the Orania Representative Council, Carol Boshoff, said the existence of the Afrikaner-only community is not different from Black communities scattered across South Africa.
Telling us this evening that the ANC has accepted to recognize Orania.
Well, as I said, yes, well, they've accepted the agreement, but let me put it very clearly. It is not for the ANC to decide whether they recognize Orania or not.
It is important to note that Orania does not constitute itself on racial terms, and it does not understand itself on racial terms, but on cultural terms. Orania being white is nothing different from thousands of local communities being black, exclusively if you'd like to call it that.
The most dangerous place for black people in South Africa. In the Northern Cape, there's a place called Orania. This place is occupied by 97% white people, 2% coloureds, and 1% black people. It has its own currency according to us, its coupons. There is no crime according to them because they aren't black people. Its own flag. There's no police because there's no crime there. If black people were there, according to them, there was going to be crime, but they are living in peace and harmony and need no support from our government. They get their electricity from Eskom. They depend on their crops and livestock. If you're a black person and want to go live there, you'll have to know Afrikaans and be able to speak Afrikaans. English, you need to know 2% of English. Leave all your black traits behind. Do you think this is a good place to live in? And do you think it's a dangerous place for black people to live in? They're not welcome, by the way.
It is just a matter of people associating. This is what the Orania's representative council, Karabashov, said. But guys, this is a joke. It's a joke, my darlings. Do you think that people like being in these rural shanty areas? Do you think that they were there by choice? No, it is a result of the apartheid regime that denied them the right to benefit from the economy. It is the result of a failed government of democracy to improve their lives as promised in 1994. The apartheid regime took all black people and put them in these shanty towns like Soweto, Tembisa, and Khayelitsha because they did not want them occupying the urban areas as they did not fit in the white supremacy dream. Orania is a choice. You chose to have your own little land to plant your own little people. You even have your own little currency and everything. If Orania is really like the black community scattered across South Africa, as they like to say, then let's give these Oranian people the mud houses that we live in the black communities. Let us give them the RDP houses. Let us give them the high unemployment rate and high crime rate. Let us give them the hardships that we face every day in our lives. Let the government treat you how they treat us with bad service delivery and social grants. That way you can really be like these black communities that are scattered across South Africa, as you like to say in your statements.
The Freedom Front Plus in the Northern Cape were saying that the re-election of Zamani Saul as the Premier paves the way for their request for the consideration of the status of Orania. Is this true? Is the Secretary General of the ANC?
No, that is not on our agenda. We've got 49% result in the Northern Cape.
They voted with Zamani Saul.
Yes, they voted with Zamani Saul, and then there is no such agreement about paving way for the state of Orania.
Would you entertain that?
We wouldn't entertain anything of that sort, but talking to people and their interest, it is in the DNA of the ANC. Without compromising our principle, we are advocating for a non-racial, democratic, non-sexist South Africa where all people participate. And in this particular instance, we don't advocate for secession and at the same time for Orania. Orania have existed within the Northern Cape, but given the nature of our state, we have been very tolerant to that, and they've coexisted with us within the democratic state.
But you wouldn't entertain their call for this
it's
to be constitutionally recognized?
It doesn't represent us.
Yeah.
So the question of entertaining, I don't know what it means, but I'm saying to you, it's not about entertaining. It doesn't represent who we are.
Yeah, so if the question is, if they brought it to you as the ANC, you draw the line, is that we're not going to do that.
When it comes to the table, we will make our position known to them. All what I'm saying is that we don't close doors to people because they have all of these sort of ideas, but if they bring them to us, we will make our position known to them, which they've known, for who we are, what we stand for in terms of our character as a party, and the state we are building in terms of what we stand for and constitutionality of South Africa.
Fikile Mbalula, ANC Secretary General, thank you so much for joining us on Face the Nation tonight. Helen Ziller.
As a matter of fact, since Orania decided to break away from South Africa, how about their votes be null and void? That way, the Freedom Front Plus party should cease to exist since the majority of their votes come from Orania. I don't think the ANC is thinking this lightly. I feel like this government of national unity is being sold to us by these mafias. It's a smokescreen to hide their mafia tendencies. These little chess movements that are happening all in the name of saying Zuma must not gain power. You are willing to sell the black people to the white people because you don't want Jacob Zuma to be in power.
So it's not about color. It's about the party that represents backwardness, a party that is a racist organization, a party like Freedom Front that says part of its conditions to go into a coalition is that we must declare Orania as a white Afrikaner land. And you say to us, we must go and participate in such a coalition. We'll never do that. Remember, when you are in cabinet, once you are defeated in argument, those decisions are binding on you. As a disciplined member of cabinet, you must go and defend that Orania must be a land of the Afrikaners. We will not do that. We will rather die without occupying positions in government than to allow white supremacists and racists to thrive. Fighters, inclusive government should not mean a compromise on the principle. We are for inclusive government.
What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African